evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. I had a senior moment in the last game, or in the last video. I played 3 games for some reason in the first video. Normally I don't do that. The video is a little bit longer than usual for a first video. It's like 33 minutes instead of like, the sort of 18 to 20 something that normally is. So I apologize for that. Hopefully it wasn't too bothersome for you. If you're watching this, you're probably one of the people who doesn't really mind the long videos. I saw an interesting thread on Reddit recently. Somebody wanted somebody to make videos that just showed the draft and then the outcome of that run, which I find kind of weird. And I mean, if we can just chat, you and I would say that's a pretty much complete waste of your time. If you really want to get better at the arena, you really should watch the draft and the games so you can learn how to play correctly as well as draft correctly. The people who say, oh, I know how to play correctly, I am just a bad drafter, if I'm being totally honest, those people play badly. Like, I'm like 99% confident that those people are just bad players and don't realize it. Because if you're actually a good player, you will also be a good drafter. You'll know, like, what to take, or at least you'll get better over time. Whereas, if you're doing a bad job drafting or you feel kind of clueless about it, chances are you're just making all kinds of play errors that you're not even aware of. This is something I've talked about many times before, is the fact that people have an easy time overestimating their own ability at Hearthstone, because a lot of the times when you make a mistake, it's extremely not obvious that you have made a mistake. It's not like in chess where you move your queen somewhere and someone takes it, or you move your rook somewhere and someone forks your king and rook. It's like, oh, well, clearly that last move was a mistake. You don't get any kind of indication in Hearthstone when you've made a mistake, because often it's not apparent until many turns later, or you have to really closely analyze and be like, oh, well, if I had drafted this instead of this, then this is what would have happened, and it would have all been a totally different game. It's very difficult to see your own mistakes in this game, is what I'm trying to say. So don't be, if you think like, oh, I just want to see the draft and see the outcome, like, you're not going to get any better at all by doing that. You need to see how the game's played out so that you can see the impact of the drafting choices. And ideally, the person playing will give you some commentary on, like, what is the impact of the drafting choices that he made, which, to be honest, I don't do a super great job of all the time. There are definitely times when I do say, like, oh, this was a choice that I made, and I chose this, and here's the effect of that, and I'll say when I have no regrets about a drafting choice, or if I regret it. But, I mean, that's just, like, when something piques my fancy. Most of the time, like, the vast majority of the draft choices I made, I don't get commented on at all. Like, do you remember what could have been chosen instead of this fairy dragon, and what impact that would have on the game? Do you remember what could have been chosen instead of this wolf rider? Do you remember what could have been chosen instead of this tiger? Like, any one of these cards, you can be like, what would have been the impact had another choice been made, and it would completely change everything. All right, so what is this trap? 100% sure it is a freezing trap. So I'm going to check for it with the wolf rider, because I don't want either of these creatures getting frozen up. It's explosive trap. Well played. I really did not think he would play an explosive trap when all it does is damage a golem and pop a divine shield. So I just lost a wolf rider for absolutely nothing, and it even cost me my entire turn. I could have just checked for it with one of my minions and then played like a recruit and a bloodsail raider. So that was actually really huge, but he might need me pretty good here. Oh, Evan. There was just no reason to play an explosive trap there, so I went for the freezing trap check. Now he's going to mostly clear my board with the explosive shot. Still got this golem here, though. And we'll play the tiger, swing for 2. I actually mind gamed myself in my last run as well. I was playing against a mage, and I was sure that she had Flame Strike. And then I ended up losing when she had 3 health, and it turns out she never had the Flame Strike. So, yes, a little learning is a dangerous thing. If you are just good enough to play around things, but not good enough to realize when you really should stop playing around those things, you can actually lose pretty bad. Frostwolf Warlord is going to be a 5/6 momentarily. The question is, should I go for her face? The answer is yes. So we'll do this and this. Let's play the Argent Squire and a recruit. We're going to give these guys taunt. That's the turn. So hopefully now he has to throw his minions at these taunters, and this tiger is going to get some more whacks in. Now, if he has Unleashed the Hounds, then so be it. 3 of the hounds would take care of my 2 taunters. Divine Shield plus this. That would leave 2 hounds. One of them could kill this. The Warlord could kill that. Yeah, Unleashed the Hounds would be a pretty solid card here. He's got a stupid monkey. He could still play Unleash the Hounds. Although, then one of the hounds wouldn't fit on his board, so that would actually have been a mistake if that were the case. Now only 4 hounds will fit on his side of the board. Stormwind Knight. Well, he's still not getting through my taunts. This one has a Divine Shield, like a Sunwalker in training, this Argent Squire. And I can kill this monkey with Consecration plus the Sunfury Protector, so the tiger is going to get to attack. Oh my god. He actually buffed the Silverback Patriarch there. Is it worth it to play this guy? That means I'm not consecrating, so I have to throw basically the tiger at the monkey. I still get 5 damage through. He's at 8, 6. This will be the kill. Oh yeah, we're going to go for it. So we'll put this guy over here. I'm going to use the tiger to kill the monkey. You know, I'm going to hedge my bets just a little tiny bit. I am going to kill this young priestess. I don't need the damage on the face because this plus consecration is the kill. So he has to have a Defender of Argus now and a board clear in order not to die next turn. If he just Defenders of Arguses, this will be at 6 health, so the tiger plus the Argent Squire will kill it. This thing will also be at 6 health, so consecration plus my other 2 minions will kill it, and then the Ravenhold Assassin will come through for the win on the nose. Priestess of Elune heals him for 4. However, I've got these 2 guys, which still is the kill. Unless he uses the Frostwolf Warlord now to kill the tiger. 7, 9, 11. Okay, Consecration is 13 damage. So he's got a Doomsayer here. He's trying to clear my board out or redirect my attacks. It's a pretty desperate play. But it doesn't matter because I have damage on the nose to kill him with. I have even more damage to kill him with now, so let's Hammer of Wrath. That should give me the kill. Consecrates. Swingity. And then the damaged golem gets the final damage through. Good game, Evan. Very nice mind game with that explosive trap. I guess he was just desperate and had nothing better to do. But I mind game myself and lost a Wolf Rider. It's not just the loss of the Wolf Rider, it's the fact that I lost the opportunity to put like 4 mana's worth of minions onto the board. I wasted my whole turn and it just died. So anyway, we got the win though. And now we're up to 3-1. If I get another loss like really soon here, I'm going to be very surprised. I think this deck should be enough to power through most of the early rounds. I mean, you could always face someone who's destined to be a 12-0, but by and large, I've already got 1 bad loss. I wouldn't be surprised to get another. Mr. Ages is a Paladin. Got the mirror matchup going here. Second again. Seem to be second a lot these days. The Ogre will be good later, but I'm not going to keep it now. We're going to keep the Acolyte because that's very good against recruits. And we have two drops. So I'm really hoping that he passes the turn here. Don't want to see any Argent Squires or any of that nonsense. I coin into a Berserker, and that's one of the best things you can do against a Paladin because it stops him from playing a recruit on turn 2. Some people will actually just completely pass turn 2 and not play anything at all because they do not want to give you a free Enrage on your Berserker, which makes sense because Paladins cannot really kill anything until turn 4 unless they have charge creatures. So you don't want to give your opponent that Enrage. Wow. He's got his own Monty Berserker. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of a chance. We're going to go ahead and Blessing of my own guy, swing, and then move on. So, I've got 2 eggs in 1 basket, but it's already paid for itself by killing a Monty Berserker. And now he really has to kill this thing pretty desperately. Ironforge Rifleman, are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus! Oh, that was very unfortunate. Well, we're going to play the Acolyte now, try to get some card advantage against this Ironforge Rifleman. Hoping he doesn't have a True Silver Champion here to deal with my Acolyte. If he does, that Blessing play will have been a total fiasco. And I will dearly regret it for the rest of my living days. Ironforge Rifleman. Oh my god. Wow, what I really need now is a Consecration because that will clear his board. I've got 2 chances to draw into one of the 2. That is not going to do it. That is going to kind of do it. So, Consecration would have been better here, I think, but we will play the True Silver Champion. Takes up my whole turn. It kills his creatures, just like Consecration would have, except I also have to take a couple of extra points of damage for it. Now, I guess the advantage is I'm going to get to play this guy as a 6-3, but 6-3s are pretty fragile. Pretty much anything he plays on this turn will kill my 6-3. I guess I hope he plays something big like a Fen Creeper, because trading this for a Fen Creeper would be pretty solid. It Master is exactly what I didn't really want to see. Use of Sergeant. Ah, jeez. Alright. Honestly, wouldn't even mind a Consecration here. Let me clear the board. Blessing of Kings, not a chance. Alright, we're going to play this before it runs out, I guess. Play my own Imp Master. And kill his hardest hitting creature. What he wants now is a Hammer of Wrath to kill this. Or possibly a Consecration wouldn't be bad for him either. Really, any of the 4-mana Paladin cards would be pretty fine for him. And I have actually all my endgame cards. These are all 3 of my endgame cards. So you can see how even just having a few endgame cards can be enough. Like, imagine if I had like 6 or 7 endgame cards in the deck. If I've drawn 3 of them, that means I could very likely have a clogged hand that I can't even play all of. Top priority right now is not to play Blessing of Kings, but I really want to get these expensive guys out of my hand. Because I need to not get stuck with them. So he has no spells or anything. He can trade the Abusive Sergeant and an Imp for the Raider. He chooses to... I don't understand what he's doing. I actually don't understand what just happened. He threw away the Imp Master for absolutely no reason. And I do mean absolutely no reason. Wow. Alright, we'll pop that Divine Shield for free. Don't really see any reason to run into that, so we'll just pass the turn. Yeah, he could have just done the Abusive Sergeant and an Imp, and that would have killed my 6-3 just fine, but he threw away the Imp Master, so he's missing an Imp Master here, and he's missing some Imps. That was a huge toss away. I'm kind of shocked. Flesh-eating Ghoul with the board full of stuff is a dangerous enough threat that I will probably Hammer of Wrath at next turn, even though that does mean not playing one of my creatures. Yeah, because it's going to get pretty big pretty fast. Let's say I were to play the Ravenhold Assassin. You know, this would die, this would die, this would get up to 5 attack. Like, it would be enough to kill my Ogre. Alright, so hopefully I get a 3-mana play. And I do. Is it worth it to throw the Wolf Rider at the Monkey? I think it is. So what this allows me to do is clear his board, and we should definitely, as we all know, not let Paladins keep creatures. So we've got our Boulder Fist Ogre swinging at the face. He's got 2 cards, a True Silver Champion, which is pretty useless at the moment. And next turn I can play this Assassin, or the Tiger and a Recruit, and feel pretty good about life. Now, can he win? Sure, if he's got like a Tyrion Forge Ring, he can actually come back and win this still, but the odds are small. He's actually going for my face. Now, this is not a mistake. He does have a lot of damage. I mean, he's got 8 damage here, so I'm down to 9 health. So just like that, you know, with 2 whacks of the True Silver and this Panther, he's doing a pretty good job. Unfortunately, I cannot get a taunt creature to save my life. So we're going to do what we can. I'm going to play Fairy Dragon and the Tiger. I'm not concerned about card advantage at the moment. I want to put as many bodies on the board as I can. And I will not redirect 6 damage to kill that Recruit. It's a little bit of a risk, but I need to get my own damage out. Because if I can threaten him enough, he might have to start killing my own things. So he's got 8-9 damage here. I'm at 8 health. Okay, I've got 5 health. I couldn't have stopped this, though. Oh, he's killing my Ogre! I think he just screwed up. He should have gone for it. 4 plus 7. That's 11, 12. I would have been at 5 health. Instead, he throws away 7 damage, basically. And now he's just massively behind on cards. I think he critically messed up here. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the Assassin down and make a Recruit. Let's see, can he deal 10 damage with 2 cards? He could do Reckless Rocketeer and Blessing of Kings. Okay. Can he do 11 damage with 2 cards? Not likely, so I'm going to just swing 5 damage here. Now what I have is 6 burn damage here, plus the Ravenhold Assassin, and some of my miscellaneous other stuff should be enough to win. Mind Control Tech. Is he going to steal the Ravenhold Assassin? As the question was exiting my mouth, of motherfucking course he stole the Ravenhold Assassin. Now I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't think I can actually kill him. This is 8, 9, 9 plus 2 is 11, 11 plus 4 is 15 damage. I just lost 3 of it. So he's actually threatening lethal because he stole my Ravenhold Assassin. Are you motherfucking goddamn kidding me? Oh my god. Alright, so we have to do this. I mean, I'm not dead or anything. It's just the luck today has been a little bit insane. We do this. And think. 10 damage here. I do want to get rid of 3 of his damage. I really do want to do that. And now what do I do with my leftover mana? I'm going to make a recruit. I doubt he's going to kill me unless he gets a Reckless Rocketeer or Leroy. He can't kill me, so he's probably going to use this to kill my Tiger. He's actually going for the face. Did he get a Reckless Rocketeer or a True Silver Champion? He got a Fen Creeper. Okay, so he's hoping the Fen Creeper will protect him, but there's really no way he can stop that. I mean, the Tiger... Oh, I see. This actually works if I don't have any help from my hand. So he made a pretty reasonable move. The Tiger plus the Recruit kills the Fen Creeper, but then this guy doesn't quite have enough juice to kill the Ravenholt Assassin. Unfortunately for my opponent, there's a wonderful little card called Blessing of Kings. Maybe you've heard of it. So we kill the Fen Creeper like so. Oh, the Ravenholt Assassin. I say the Ravenholt Assassin. My Ravenholt Assassin like so. We'll do this, and I'm actually now going to play the Panda because I'm threatening lethal. I've got 16 damage here. Again, he needs a Reckless Rocketeer or a Leroy Jenkins to win the game. If he gets that, I'm going to be super pissed. But as long as he doesn't get one of those, even if it's a taunt or a life gainer that he gets, I can just power through it. Would a Tyrion do it? Tyrion would actually also let him win the game. Tyrion Forging, because then I could have killed it, but then he could have killed me with the weapon that Tyrion drops. So if he plays Tyrion here, I'll be pretty mad. Well played. And what does he have? He has a Direwolf Alpha. That is, unfortunately for him, not going to do it. So well played. He sees he's got the win, and he loses. But oh my god, the luck today has been pretty ridiculous. In the run before this one and in this run, with the Mad Bombers killing all my stuff, and with Mind Control Tech stealing my Ravenholt Assassin. Just in general. Now that opponent could have won the game. All he really had to do was swing at my face with his Panther instead of killing my Boulder Fist Ogre with it. So yeah, I think we won a game there just because the opponent made a strategical error. He started out on the right track. He True Silvered up, played a Panther, and swung at my face, seeing an opportunity with 12 damage on the table to kill me. But he didn't follow through. He got scared off by my Ogre. Vortex X is our priestly opponent. We'll keep our Scarlet Crusader. Even though Shadow Word Pain is a pretty good answer to it, it's a very strong card if he does not have that answer. We have Boulder Fist Ogre for later, which is a little bit scary because all he needs is one Shadow Word Death, and that's the end of that. I don't have that many cards here to bait out Shadow Word Deaths. If I'm lucky, there will be a Shadow Word Death used against one of my Pandas, or against my Stranglethorn Tiger, perhaps. But yeah, Priest is actually just a tough matchup for me because of Shadow Word Death, killing off what little endgame I have. Alright, Northshire Cleric is unfortunate because, of course, this thing. We'll let him draw a card. So I will play the Knife Juggler then, which threatens to kill this off. He now needs Shadow Word Pain, Holy Smite, or Power Word Shield to avoid bad times. 3 cards. He just top-decked one of them, maybe? Blue-Glow Warrior actually also would do the job. If he kills the Knife Juggler, I can just use the Scarlet Crusader. Alright, Loot Hoarder is a pretty good answer. So now, of course, I do lose the Knife Juggler to the Loot Hoarder. But there's a chance I can kill the Loot Hoarder. Now, I can play the Scarlet Crusader, which is the better card, or I can actually make a Recruit and an Argent Squire and have a 75% chance of killing that Loot Hoarder. I will do this. Now, you might say, Papa Boris, why aren't you playing this thing? Well, I'm judging that the card advantage is actually more valuable than the extra power and toughness of that creature. I've already attacked to kill the Northshire Cleric, so pretty good start. The Loot Hoarder was not a loss for him because it replaced itself, but he did lose a Northshire Cleric to no benefit. And now he's also going to lose that Raging Worgen. A couple different things I could do. I could do this and throw these 2 creatures at it. I could do the Wolf Rider at it. We're going to do the Wolf Rider so that I'm pretty safe in the event of Holy Nova. Holy Nova just kills a Recruit, a Knife Juggler, and pops a Divine Shield. It's pretty spectacular. I don't mind that in the slightest. I've got a nice board advantage here. Raid Leader is going to be good. Earthbending Farseer to heal himself up. It's not a concern of mine. So now I've got 2 chances to hit this thing with one of my knives. This Knife Juggler, man, this Knife Juggler is a good one. He's hitting the right targets. So why am I throwing it away instead of popping the Divine Shield? Well, at this point, a Holy Nova would have killed this and the Knife Juggler and my Recruit. So I decided to play it a little bit safe. Holy Nova's, again, really bad now. Well, not really bad. It's pretty bad. It just kills a Knife Juggler and a Raid Leader. Pops Divine Shield and this thing lives. That's why I played this instead of making a Recruit, is to guard against Holy Nova. He seems to have a Sunwalker here, I'm guessing. It's one of the few things he'd coin for. Oh, look at that. Papa Boris. Does he make excellent predictions? You motherfucking bet he does. So, I could play Boulder Doger here, but again, I'd rather just kill the Sunwalker. So, we'll play a Recruit, because the Fairy Dragon dies to Holy Nova, that I still think he probably has. The Knife Juggler, man, continues to be a baller. I'll pop Divine Shield. Truce over through my way through this. And now he might still lose even if he has Holy Nova. But he needs it to even have a chance of winning. So he has to Holy Nova, kills everything except for my Truce over and the Blood Accelerator. I then play Boulder Doger and he's a Shadow Word Death. And if he has that, then he wins. However, this guy does not have Holy Nova. So Vortex loses. And we are up to our 5th win? 5th win. Alright. So here I am at 5-1. Minor spoiler, in my last arena I was at 5-2. So I feel pretty good about my chances to make it to 7 wins. I'm trying not to say anything about the outcome of the last arena, because it was a pretty good run. I think it was very informative, and I hope you watch it. It was a warrior run. I have not titled it yet, so I don't know what it's called, but it's the warrior run before this one, so hopefully that'll be enough of a clue that you can find it. We have made it above 11,000 because I didn't play Arena for about 4 days. I played a lot of Ranked. My girlfriend and I were both trying to get as high as we could. We both made it up to rank 10. Which I know is not like a big deal, but this is with homemade decks, so I feel pretty good about it. Rogue, Louise Recif, and I'm first against this rogue, so not so hot here. Hand's pretty bad. In fact, I'll actually mulligan that, because if I don't get anything to play, that guy's going to be just a 2-2 for 2, which is useless. That's better, and that's better. Okay, so I've got creatures to play. I need her to pass on turn 1, which is a tall order for a rogue with the coin, but that's what I need, and then if I can drop the Berserker and have it stay, or if she has to spend her whole turn killing it, I could catch up and draw into some cards and actually play into a good mid-game. But this opening hand is very underwhelming. I want one of my 2 Argent Squires. That would be great. And not a chance. Alright. Is she going to pass the turn? Pass turn, pass turn, pass turn, pass the turn. Dip, 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 dip. Not a chance. Oh, you get an Argent Squire and I don't? What the hell is this? Baloney dongs is what that is. Alright, note to self, do not put Blessing of Might onto Amani Berserker. Bad things happen when you do this thing. She wants a backstab. That plus the Divine Shield will be a free kill on my Berserker. She actually just top decked it, the bitch. Ugh. And now she has her full 2 mana to play, so she gets off to a good start in this game. She even has her coin still. Jesus Christ. What is this garbage? Wolf Rider. Well, what I could do now is I could just wait and consecrate on turn 4. The problem is if what she plays on turn 3 doesn't die to consecration, I'll be in trouble. But I'm going to do it anyway. With Argent Squire and Wolf Rider, this seems like an aggressively themed deck. Maybe she'll play like a Jungle Panther here. I can just consecrate, clear her board, and then be off to a pretty good start. She'll dagger my recruit. So I could again do an early consecrate here, or I could just play True Silver Champion to kill that Wolf Rider. And then see if I want to kill the Argent Squire with True Silver Champion or not, or if that's overkill. I could also kill her Wolf Rider with my Wolf Rider. Let's go for the Champion. Let's put the weapon in hand. This gives me some damage next turn. I might not want to consecrate, and I might not want to use the True Silver to kill the Argent Squire. In fact, I would prefer not to have to do that. The main problem is that she's got the kind of tempo on me, even though she was the second player. Her start was so strong with this Argent Squire and backstab that I wasn't able to get a toehold of any kind. Alright. Let's see what she can do for 4 mana. Ascension or Yeti would be pretty strong here, because I don't have a recruit here to kill it with the True Silver Champion. She seems to have nothing better to do than to hit me in the face and remake her dagger, I presume? Alright, that's a good sign. And this Argent Squire is just a huge pain in my neck because it plus the dagger will be a free kill in the Scarlet Crusader. So I don't really want to do that. Let's just do this. Make a recruit. Hold my 3 drops for the following turn. And see what she can do on turn 5. Her turn 4 was pretty much nothing, which bought me a little bit of time, unfortunately, because my hand was so bad I had nothing to do myself. Maybe I should have consecrated. If I had consecrated, this thing would be dead. She's going to deadly poison. God, every rogue has deadly poison, it seems. I don't know if there's some kind of deadly poison memo going around, like take every deadly poison you see, but that does get the kill here. However, my recruit now stands to kill the Argent Squire, finally. She gets a little bit cheeky, hitting me in the face instead of killing my recruit. I am going to punish her for this. Don't let paladins keep creatures, Louise Recife. Now, the deadly poison only deals 3 damage, so she needs a Fan of Knives. That would be the best card. It would kill my recruit, damage this recruit down to 3, and the Wicked Knife would then kill the Silverhand recruit. But barring that one particular card, the Fan of Knives, she's going to have a little bit of a tough time at this point, with me starting the turn with a True Silver Champion and a Silverhand recruit, a 5/4. Of course, a combo to Eviscerate wouldn't be the worst thing either, so Eviscerate and Fan of Knives are the cards I most want her to not have. Alright. Louise Recife. What you gonna do? Boulder-Vest Ogre. Interesting question of what to do about that card. I could just ignore it. But getting hit down to 13 against a rogue who can also hit me down to 10 doesn't seem that great. I could consecrate and throw away my guy. That seems not that great. Blessing of Might or Wolf Rider. Nothing really seems that great, to be totally honest here. Alright, so let's play Knife Juggler. Wolf Rider. Actually, if the knife hits this, I could do Wolf Rider Blessing of Might. That would actually kill the Boulder-Fist Ogre. Or I could just throw the recruit away. So either way, this seems like a good move. We'll just do this. Wow, that Knife Juggler today knows his targets. So we're 2 for 1 against an Ogre, but the thinking is that I've got a pretty nice board advantage now. I messed up. I should have put this recruit in the middle to guard against betrayals. Now betrayal could kill my Knife Juggler and the recruit. Otherwise, betrayal could kill nothing other than the recruit itself. Dread Corsair is mostly free. I can kill it with my weapon, though. Or Consecration plus recruit. Blade Flurry does not quite clear my board. This thing is left. Does she have a Fan of Knives or a Shiv to finish that off? She needs it. Oh, it looks like she doesn't have it. She's going to hit it with her dagger. I see. Because she did not attack with the Blade Flurry. Well, that was pretty well played. So what we're going to do here then is kill the Dread Corsair. Play our Tiger. And what's next? The Golem or the Crusader? Let's go for the Golem here. It's a little bit sturdier. She'd have to hit it with something and use the dagger. But she has to deal 3 damage to kill this and then kill it with the dagger, whereas this, any damage would do it. So this is sturdier than the Scarlet Crusader against a rogue holding a dagger in hand. So the Consecration that I so carefully preserved really didn't do much for me. I hope she gives me something to kill with it. Sunwalker is not the answer I was hoping for. Now I really need this Golem to live. Looks like it is. That's good. That is very, very good. Okay. I got my Ogre here now, which is very tempting to play. In fact, I will just play it. So we're going to try to guard against Betrayal. Now these Golems, though, so buggy. But we'll put that in the middle. We'll hit that there. We're going to make a Recruit rather than the Crusader because I want to get every ounce of value that I possibly can out of the situation. So this is an extra card because she's going to be daggering the Tiger or the Golem at this point. I didn't really see the need to play the Crusader. So this Ogre now, she needs to assassinate or sap it. So if the Ogre attacks and I can consecrate, that's 8 damage. She leaves her with 8 health. Yeah, this tiger needs to get its damage through, so hopefully she continues not to have Fan of Knives or Shiv, which she has on several occasions this game failed to have. And we'll be in good shape. This will not be backstabbed because it is damaged. But it's a bit tense, although I'm ahead on cards and on the board. There are things that will allow her to catch back up. She's going to use Betrayal now, so it's a good thing I've been playing around it to kill off my tiger and damage my ogre. Arcane Golem will not quite kill my ogre. Defender of Argus plus Arcane Golem will kill the ogre now. And she'll kill my Harvest Golem so that I cannot kill this Defender of Argus. So had I played Scarlet Crusader, I could have the kill for the Argus now. As it is the only way that I can kill the Defender of Argus is by consecrating and running the Recruit into it, which I'm not particularly thrilled by. So we're just going to play the Panda, which seems to have actually never been helpful at all in this entire run. It's never actually, like, you know, picked up an Argent Protector or anything along those lines. But it's 5-4, which is scary enough on its own. Now my opponent needs to deal with it. She seems not to have Fan of Knives or Eviscerate or Shiv. All of which are, or Assassinate for that matter, all of which are things I'm pretty content with. So as long as her top deck wasn't particularly special, she's facing a little bit of trouble. Alright, Backstab is going to hit that guy, so no Eviscerates. She's going to throw the Defender away. A bit of a desperate move. It's obviously not the ideal way to have taken out my Panda. The Golem makes no difference. And what else is left? A Priest of Elune. Alright. She'll even venture a kill on one of my recruits. Well, I can't clear her board, even with Consecration's help. The question is, do I let her hit me for 7 damage? And the answer is... yeah. If I Consecrate, it would be better to do next turn, because I'll have, you know, a little bit of extra damage out here. A Fan of Knives at any time would be murderously good, but she really can't kill me this turn with just one card, and that means that her creatures are going to have to kill my creatures, which is very frustrating because apart from the Priestess doing a nice job killing the Imp Master, everything else is just kind of overkill, and she has to spend all of her energy mopping up my little Dinkosaurus Rexes. Alright, she likes to go for my face, which makes a certain kind of sense, because next turn, if she can draw a single point of damage, that plus this Wicked Knife will kill me. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 damage. I'm 3 shy away from killing her. I did not top deck a Hammer of Wrath, so now I have to clear her board, unfortunately. And if she draws any kind of damage, direct damage at all, she will actually win. Which is a little bit scary, but what are you going to do? Well, if she gets the damage, she wins. Nothing more needs to be said. If she does not get 1 point of damage, I do have lethal here, and I will win. So this is the top deck of the century. What is it going to be? Anything that deals damage wins her the game. Charge creature, shooter, deadly poison, anything. Blade flurry. She hits me in the face, and she concedes. Woo! That was probably too close. I probably misplayed that. I probably should have Consecrated to clear her board a turn earlier. I underestimated the risk that would be posed by her top decking something like Deadly Poison. But luckily in that particular game I don't have to pay for my mistakes, so I have 2 chances now to make it to 7 wins. I have been doing pretty well with Paladin recently. Paladin used to actually be my worst class. Pretty much right alongside Warlock. Paladin and Warlock were just my 2 worst, but I don't know, I kind of got it. There were a couple of insights, mainly I think to do with Blessing of Might being an actually good card, and Blessing of Kings, and just the importance of always keeping creatures on the board. And I've been doing really well ever since. Alright, Monkey Myhawk? What the hell? Seriously, people. So we've got Knife Juggler, so basically if I can get this out on turn 1 and play a 2-drop on turn 2, that'll be great. Change of plans! Argent Squire is going to drop on turn 1 now, and hopefully my opponent does not have a Fiery War Axe. Greetings, Now we don't actually even need the coin. Basically, I'm just hoping this knife juggler lives. That's my only hope and dream. Please pass the turn. Armor up, 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 and I've got a really good chance. Oh no! It's a fiery war axe that he hits me in the face with. What is that? You never want to do that, ever. The hell? All right, we're going to make a recruit here. Swing at the face. Now, why did I make a recruit? Why not coin Wolf Rider or Argent Squire? Well, the recruit costs more mana than an Argent Squire, but it's basically the same thing. It's just missing a Divine Shield. If he Fiery War Axes this recruit, I'm pretty happy about that. He actually Blood Knights. Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? What the fuck? Ah, Blood Knight. Well, that sets us back a ways. To be sure. I mean, I'm glad I didn't play my other Argent Squire. So now the Blood Knight kills the Knife Juggler, and I have to use a Wolf Rider to kill the Blood Knight. So I'm like in the game, but really not how I wanted this to start. Fucking epic. Turns it completely around. He plays a Weaponsmith, so that'll kill the Knife Juggler, preserving the health on the Blood Knight. Are you motherfucking kidding me? All I had to do was not get one of my Argent Squires like I did in like every other goddamn game. But no! This game, it was like, yes, when the opponent has a Blood Knight, Boris, why don't you get a freaking Argent Squire? Why don't you get two of them? Ball sacks. Jesus ballsack Christ is all I've got to say to that. So we're doing fine, except for the 6/6 that the opponent has. Really, if it weren't for this, like if it just had anything else, I would have been totally fine, even with the Fiery War Axe and even with the Wrathy Weaponsmith. So now, the Blood Knight kills the Wolf Rider. Well, the weapon kills the Wolf Rider. The Blood Knight kills my 2/2. He's at 4 health. I can't really kill it. I just have to ignore it. I can play a Golem and a Recruit and just keep swinging at his face. I don't see how this is going to work. Oh, God. Well, that's a pretty good card. He makes a misplay. He really should have used the Blood Knight to kill that, and the Axe to kill the Blood Knight. But what I see what he's doing, so he's actually just racing me. Which, I don't know, makes a certain kind of sense. He does have a lot of damage. I can't really fault him for it. Blessing of Kings. Alright. Well, what we're going to do here then is put Blessing of Kings on this. Kill the Frothing Berserker. Swing at his face. And watch what happens. I mean, he's got 12 damage here. Any charged creature, any more damage, and he can kill me very easily. I don't have any taunts. But this is pretty threatening itself. This is 9 damage, so he's got to be worried about me taking him down to 6 health. He probably thinks like, well, what's the point of being so risky when I can probably just win if I play more safely? At least that's what I'm hoping for, because he doesn't know that these 3 cards do not contain any more Blessings or True Slivers. If I had a True Sliver here, I could kill him pretty easily, but he doesn't know that I don't have anything. Alright, he's going to play that. So you really should kill the Wolf Rider at the very least with a Cruel Taskmaster or a Whirlwind, or if he doesn't have any of those, you should just use his Blood Knight to kill it. Dark Eyed Work, well, he's going for broke. Which, again, I can't fault him for. It's not impossible for him to pull this off. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of hedging his... Okay, so he's kind of hedging his bets. Is he going to kill my 5/5 now? He could probably just hit me in the face, knowing that then I have to kill this thing, and then he still has 9 damage here. So I guess he hedged his bets in a pretty good way. I can't fault this Warrior's play. Fucking Blood Knight. That was the entire reason I lost this game. Alright, he chooses to kill the Argent Squire. I guess he thinks, whatever, might as well play it safe. So here we go. We can't do anything about any of his stuff. For as much as we can onto the board, we'll kill that. He's got 9, plus 3 is 12 damage. He needs 3 more damage and he'll win on the spot. If he had attacked me last turn with the Blood Knight, he would win right now this turn. That is what he needs. Can I concede before he gets the killing blow on me? Yes, I can. Well, that was a steaming load of bullshit, but you know what? Sometimes you're just going to lose a game because the opponent has a Blood Knight for your Argent Squire. And, nothing you can do. I mean, that's why you got to play well in your other games, so that is only your second loss of the arena, not the third. So basically, we've had 2 completely bullshit losses, which is part of Hearthstone. It's going to happen. And then all the normal games, I don't think I ever got, like, ridiculously lucky in any of them. We won. In fact, there were some other, like, nonsense, like people mind control teching my Ravenholt Assassin and whatnot. and having an Iron Forge Rifleman for my Blessing of Kings money berserker. So really, I've gotten really unlucky in this run, and still doing good enough to be 6-2. I'd say that I deserve some props for drafting and playing this pretty well. But we still need to get one more win to actually get up to 7, and we get Hobo Hunter, which is an awesome name. Alright, we again have our Argent Squire. Hopefully this one does not get hit by Blood Knight. Why am I only getting 3 drops? Well, I've got so many 2 drops, I might as well fish for them. And I have so many 3 drops, even if I mulligan those away, I'm probably going to get other ones, like the Raid Leader, which is not the greatest 3 drop ever, but hey, it's a 3 drop. Once again, I got both Argent Squires as the first player, which is a Paladin's kind of awkward, because playing this on turn 2 is pretty lame. I'd really rather just would have gotten one of them in a 2 drop. See what she wants to do with herself. The answer is play a 2 drop. Hopefully it's not a 2-3. It's a 2-3. Are you goddamn kidding me? Oh my god. Well, can I get a 2 drop myself? No, but I can get a Blessing of Might. Alright, we'll do this. So, she does get ahead here. I use 2 cards to kill 1, and then she uses Fire Blast to finish this thing off. But I'm getting a bit of a tempo lead. She's going to ping this. I'm going to play Raid Leader, swing for 2, so I've got an edge on the board. And she's already used her coin, and I'm the first player, so I have that advantage as well. And, I just hope I can ride that tempo advantage to victory. Hopefully she's going to play her own minions, and I'm going to play True Silver Champion and kill them. Get 4 more damage through. She's down to 24. I mean, that's the hope. Ironbeak Owl is fine, so this guy loses his buff, but that's okay. So I can either pop the Divine Shield and then play creatures, or I can play the True Silver Champion, not play creatures, and keep my Divine Shield. I'll pop the Divine Shield and play creatures specifically because some of the creatures that I'm playing are going to be pretty nice here. It's already attacked. Right. So I've got a really nice big board. She won't be able to kill this all for a while. She wants things like maybe Cone of Cold, but that'll only whittle me down. Water Elemental. Ah, Water Elemental. Seriously, the Water Elementals today are just crazy. Alright. I'm going to hang on to that True Silver Champion for as long as possible. And we're just going to go for the face. Full broke for the face. The silence on that Raid Leader is making a pretty big difference. That Owl really bought her a lot of health. But she can't play Blizzard. Cone of Cold is pretty ineffectual. She has this thing. So she's not going to stop me from True Silver Championing. And she doesn't even know that this is a True Silver Champion anyway. Kodo, please do not kill my Argent Squire. Good, I killed my worst creature. So what's this? I actually got lucky about something? Unfrickin-leavable. Alright, let's play Blessing of Kings on the Acolyte. One of my favorite things in the universe to do. We can kill this and this will be frozen. Or we can kill this, it'll not be frozen. Yeah, let's go for the not being frozen variety of action. Play the Direwolf Alpha. Swingity, swangity, swingle. So now she's still a turn away from Flame Strike. If this Acolyte can attack her, True Silver Champion will kill her off. Unless the Water Elemental starts to freeze me, but then I can just kill the Water Elemental at some point and be fine. She's going to Iron Forge Rifleman to ping that off. She's going to then... Oh, she's going to use the Elemental to kill it, not the hero ability. So I presume she has another use for the hero ability. No, she wanted to use her mana to heal herself. All fair and good. Now, let's take a look at the situation here. We have 6, 8, 11, 13. I do have lethal. So, don't get carried away drawing cards with the Acolyte. Just kill the opponent and she concedes. Alright, that was a pretty crushing win against a mage. Ended up playing it kind of aggro-y. And the Blessing of Might, notice, was very important there. It gave me a tempo advantage that I traded cards for, and that was good enough to win. I killed her before she could play Flame Strike. Blizzard would have been okay. Frost Nova might have been alright. Cone of Cold might have been alright, but the Flame Strike was the most likely thing for her to have, and she did not have a chance to play it. So, hooray! 7 wins! Good show, and I'm at 2 losses, so we'll see how far this can go. To get to 12 wins, you have to be pretty lucky, even if you have, like, overwhelming odds to win every game. Let's say you draft, like, the most monstrous deck of all time, and you have, let's just say, given your skill and your deck, a 90% chance of winning any given game. The odds of making it to 12 are actually still really, really small. Because it would be, like, 90% or 0.9 to the 12th power. And I don't actually know what 0.9 to the 12th power is. Let me actually pop open Windows Calculator here and see. So scientific mode, 0.9 to the 12th power. Yeah, you only have a 28% chance of winning, of going 12-0 in an arena, even if you have a 90% chance of winning every single game. Which is, I think, pretty small. when you consider that probably you don't actually ever have a 90% chance of winning an arena. Alright, let's go ahead and pop the Divine Shield, play Knife Juggler. She probably won't be able to kill the Knife Juggler and the Argent Squire unless she gets a lucky Arcane Missiles. Which she's gonna go for. Hit my face, hit my face, hit my face, hit my face, hit my face. Are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus! Ah, she had nothing better to do than ping it anyway, so if only 2 of them had hit, she still could have cleared the board, but motherfucking honest to fucking Jesus bobsled. Alright, so I played the Imp Master, probably a mistake. I probably should have just played the Scarlet Crusader because it hits harder than the Imp Master does. And hitting harder coming up on turn 4 is more valuable than getting more imps out because I don't have my True Silver Champion. Luckily, I catch a break. She just spends her whole turn drawing cards and does nothing else. Hammer of Wrath, not exactly what I need. So we'll make a recruit here. We'll protect my Imp Master from molestation. Pass the turn. And I'm looking if I can to play a Coin Boulder for Stoker next turn, although that is vulnerable to Polymorph. Oh, what? Wait a minute. What the? Oh my, wow. Okay, so it took damage, but that popped the Divine Shield. So I guess she kept her health up, and that could theoretically be an extra imp, but yeah, that was definitely not working as intended there. Can I kill this efficiently? Hammer of Wrath, I would need 3 more damage. Not really, so we're just going to go ahead and do it. If she has a Polymorph for a Fireball, she's got it, but clearly this Argent Protector on the Imp Master was definitely a mistake, to end all mistakes. So the Water Elemental I don't care about too much here, because I don't have my True Silver Champion, so it doesn't actually matter. If my Ogre kills it, I'll be happy. If she spends her whole turn killing the Ogre, I'm not going to exactly be happy, but I do have a pretty good board here, so I'm okay with it. Kind of. So let's see, maybe an Arcane Explosion would be devastating. Blizzard, also pretty devastating. Freezes my Ogre, stops me from killing the Water Elemental, and it also gets damaged. All in all, that was just a bad time. The Imp Master's gonna die, popping out one last Imp. Alright. Gonna go ahead and do this, and play Wolf Rider, get the damage through. So this Imp that pops now might live, because she really should be pinging this Wolf Rider if she pings anything. And she has to deal with this Ogre somehow. Now I've got some burn damage here. I've got 4 plus 3 is 7 points of burn damage for 12 mana. Not exactly super efficient, but that will be 7 points of damage someday if she can stop playing motherfucking Blizzards! Ah, Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Alright, we're going to do what we can to protect that Ogre, because that's my MVP card right now. And I just really need to get some damage through. Honestly. I've got 7 damage here. I need to deal 12 more to her. A True Silver Champion would help get 8 of that in, but I really need to get some damage through. 2 back-to-back Blizzards is hard to beat when you're a Paladin playing with lots of little cards.
What to do? What to do? For the crusade!
Alright, can you stop messing with my shit for a second? Alright, Defender of Argus. Not a big deal. It does stop my Ogre from hitting her, but it's also not super threatening either. And she actually takes a moment to go for my face. Alright, that's fine by me. So what we're going to do here, we're going to start going for it. I'm going to pop this Recruit. Actually, wait, I could actually double Consecrate. That would clear her board. That is totally the move I'm going to make. We're going to Consecrate, Consecrate. You want a double Blizzard? You want a double Blizzard? Yeah. Suck on that. Suck on that. So that dealt 4 damage to her face. It let me get all the damage through with my minions, all 9 damage. Hammer of Wrath is 3 damage. If even these 2 little guys can attack her, I win the game. Now, she does have a lot of cards, but she has to do something about this Divine Shielded Ogre. She needs a Polymorph or something. She's going to see if the Arcane Missile can ping off the Divine Shield, and the answer is no! Ha! Suck on that, you monkey! Fucking Arcane Missiles. She will ping that off. Does she have another Blizzard or something? Frostbolt, Fireball, what you got? Lord of the Arena? More like Lord of the Snorina, because I'm snoring because it's not a threat. We're going to go ahead and hit it with the Hammer of Wrath. And that will do, pig. That'll do. Top decker. He couldn't top deck his way or her way out of that one or something. Yay. Alright, 8 wins. Better than expected. After 6 and 2. don't usually expect to get up to 8, because, you know, the competition's pretty fierce, but we did it. So, just kind of relaxing now, seeing how far I can go before I lose. Anyway, the reason I went on that tangent about how hard it is to go to 12-0 is that basically, even if you have astronomical odds of winning, you have to expect to lose some games in the arena just due to, you know, bad luck or your own mistakes or whatever. So I'm not that bothered when I make it to 6-2 or 7-2 or something, because you really can't expect, even with a good deck, to make it to 12 and 0, or really any 12 with any degree of consistency. Alright, we got a nice start, as is so often the case in this deck. Gonna play this on turn 2, this on turn 3. Gotta remember not to put Argent Protector on the Imp Master because it damages itself. He's got an Argent Squire. Well, if only I had a Blood Knight, that would sure be nice. So this will hold up against the Argent Squire reasonably well, and the Imp Master should also be able to finish it off pretty well. But if he has a good follow-up here, I could fall behind. No, he's just got Shapeshift. Perfect. So this is a 2-3, doesn't add a Shapeshift in the Divine Shield. He will in fact ignore my creature, which is totally fair. Now, do you play the Golem, or do you play the Imp Master? Or do you even, like, put a Divine Shield and play the Argent Squire? All are fair choices. Do I want to end with a Divine Shield or start with one? In case of Wrath, I'd rather end with one. So we're going to do this. Divine Shield. Squire. Just trying to develop as much board presence as we can here. Hopefully there's no more incoming Blood Knights. Hopefully. Okay, no Blood Knight. Is he going to swipe? No, he's going to play a Sen'jin. Well, these would also have not been that good against Sen'jin, so I don't really mind what happened. I could throw everything at the Sen'jin, or I could do this. Direwolf Alpha is a good card. Pop. Pop. I messed up. Wow, I messed up. I should have put the wolf here, popped the Divine Shields, and used the wolf to kill this. Although then the wolf would have been damaged this way, it's not damaged. Huh. Well, now I'm wide open to a swipe, but whatever. If he swipes, at least this thing will live. And then I can play Imp Master and Reinforcement, having seen him just play a swipe. No swipe, just to keep her the Grove. That is a pretty strong card here, though. I'd have to throw everything at it to kill it. Alright. I will do that, though. Get rid of all my swipe fodder. Throw it down for a good cause. And we're going to play the Golem, because that is a little bit less vulnerable to swipe than an Imp Master, since I haven't seen a single swipe from him. We're at 8 wins. We've got to figure this guy probably has a swipe on him. I'd rather not play Imp Master until I've seen one. If I have reasonable alternatives. If I don't have reasonable alternatives, I will just play the Imp Master, but until then, we'll just keep it in the hand. Spellbreaker silences my Golem. I got a bunch of 2 health, 2 power guys against this 4-3. Very irritating. Definitely don't want to play the Arcane Golem early against the Druid. But I will keep the board clear as best as I know how. Pop that guy back into my hand. Replay him. Divine Shield. And do this. Now you might say, Papa Boris, why didn't you put the Golem back in your hand? Then you could have replayed it. Well, I couldn't have replayed it this turn, and I valued clearing the board more highly than I valued getting my Golem back. So 6 cards to 5, and he does have the swipe. Like I knew he did. Shapeshift to kill this? Is that what's going to happen? He was going to Wrath to kill it and draw a card. Fair enough. Definitely don't want to play the Arcane Golem here, because that would give him Ironbark Protector a turn early. And he's got an extra card against me, so this has just not really worked out in my favor. What I wanted on that turn was one of my 3 endgame cards, the Tiger, the Assassin, or the Ogre, but alas, all 3 are in the bottom 2/3 of my deck, which is actually somewhat unlikely. The odds of that being the case are only 8 in 27, that I wouldn't have had the right card to play there. So I got a little bit unlucky there. He's got another swipe, so my board's gone, and he's just got massive card advantage. He's not even going to bother killing my Golem with Shapeshift. He figures he can do it later. Sovereign Protector! Okay. So we're going to do this. get this kill here. Make a recruit, give it taunt. Pass the turn. What am I possibly hoping for? I don't know. I didn't get my endgame against, you know, 19 out of 27 odds. And for that reason, I've got a weak hand. And I'm probably going to lose. Stampeding Kodo. Ugh. Lord. More precise would have been to shapeshift and kill this first, but I see he had mana he wanted to spend. He wanted to put Mark of Nature on it. Jesus. I don't even have an answer to that anywhere in my deck at all. 3, 7, 8. Like, I can't. I have to throw, like, all my. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and concede. That game's done. I would have had to throw my Wolf Rider, my Arcane Golem, and my Recruit. No, I'm sorry. Wolf Rider, Arcane Golem, and my True Silver Champion. Or perhaps Arcane Golem, this, and True Silver Champion to kill that Kodo. That was just not worth playing at that point. So, thanks for watching. Please like and or subscribe. And I'll see you soon. And if you want to see what prizes I got, well, you can just watch for a few more seconds. Where do you need to be? It's so important. What's more important than watching me get 155 gold, an Ironbeak Owl, and 25 dust? Would I dust the Ironbeak Owl? Does that ever go into constructed decks or ranked decks? It does. Some. Not the types I play, but we got Priest, Shaman, and Paladin. Though I still want to catch up on the Paladin some more. I'm probably not going to play that twice in a row, so we'll see which of Shaman or Priest is up, and we'll play that next time, folks. I'll see you again soon. Take care.